apparently Daniel Snyder feels that way, but then the Commanders have come out with the statement, Jim, saying, "No, we didn't say that. That's not true. I never said that I got dirt on my fellow owners. I never said I got dirt on Roger Goodell. I don't know where this report from Seth Wickersham and ESPN, I don't know where it's coming from, but I certainly didn't say it." What do you make? What do you make of all of this, Jim?
Look, I think that Don Van Natta and Seth, they do a great job with what they do in terms of getting to the underbelly of the NFL. But as I read this story, truthfully, the one thing I came away with was that there's really nothing new here. People within NFL circles have known for some time and have said for some time that they believe the only reason the NFL hasn't pushed harder to remove Daniel Snyder is because they're afraid that he has dirt on others and how he could expose people, meaning fellow owners or even the commissioner, if he were to come forward with what he has. So unless you can get specifics, and I realize that that's very difficult, but as I read the story, everything was general in terms of he says he has this on a number of owners. Well, we don't know which owners, and we don't know what exactly he has. Says he has this on the commissioner, but we don't know what exactly that it is.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So as I'm reading all of this, I'm saying, me personally, having covered the league for more than 2 decades, in a general sense, all of this was known or believed to be known. Let me put it that way, because we can't prove it. But this is what NFL people have been talking about for some time.
And look, like we know the owners, they're tiers, they're ownership tiers in the NFL, and we know how they work. I mean, the Packers are in a different category, just the community's team. We got it. So the Packers are different. But you've got some teams that have been around for years and years, and these names, these families have held these teams, for better or worse, for a long time. The Fords in Detroit, the Hallis family, an extension, the Hallis family in Chicago, the Bidwills in Arizona, the Rooneys in Pittsburgh. There's so many, the Maras in New York. There's so many of these. Those are the tiers where they've just been solid, rock solid. And I think for the most part, Jim, from rock solid, who've been around forever, to let's say 10 years. If you've been an NFL owner for 10 years, you could say some version of what Daniel Snyder reportedly said. Now, he's been an owner for 23. But if you've been in the game for 10 years, you've seen a lot, you heard a lot, you could probably say something similar to that, right? Do you agree with that? I mean, I think a lot of people feel like, oh, I could bring you down if I needed to.
Look, absolutely, Michael. But here's the other thing. Who of us doesn't have skeletons in our closet? And I'll start with myself. I'm not getting ready to go out and put it out on Front Street.
I'm going
to.
But
I'm just saying.
No. Before 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm telling all my stuff. Because then you won't have anything. I want to tell you, if somebody starts threatening me, I'm going to tell you everything. So now what you got? Okay, I'll tell you all this stuff.
Well, that kind of makes me think of the TJ Watt story a week or two ago, where he puts out on social media, someone's getting ready to report this, so I'm going to beat him to it. I had, a heart defibrillator or whatever it was to bring my heart rhythm back in order. So yeah, I'm with you. If someone's getting ready to put it all out there on me, fine, I'll release it on myself. But until then, I'm not. And that's why I say all of these owners, look, you don't get to be, this is my belief personally, you don't get to be a billionaire by being a saint. Somewhere along the way, there have been things that have taken place, whether it's through business, and then we know in our personal lives we all have things. So, yeah, I'm sure Daniel Snyder has a lot on some of his fellow owners, and I'm sure, obviously, being in those privileged meetings where there are only owners in there, he has heard some things that could be very damning to other owners. And I do believe that there are owners, and I know this to be true, having talked to some of them, who don't want that spotlight turned on themselves, and so who do have concerns about Daniel Snyder or any other owner putting their personal business out in the street. So again, as I read it, I'm like, these are great reporters, but I didn't see anything that was new or bombshell to me when I concluded the story.
Hey, thanks for watching Brother from Another on YouTube. Make sure you hit subscribe before you leave, and be sure to watch us 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Peacock. Appreciate you.